Hi there, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a long time, but Eggy Apples is back. But yeah, prank, this isn't my video, and you know that because you're not watching it on my channel.
Okay, basically, introductions everyone. This is Egg, otherwise known as Anna. They live in the same house as me, and they go to Falmouth University.
Woo, woo, woo.
So I was like, we need to make a video, a Q&A. We're both ambassadors.
Yeah, that's true. People do ask us questions.
People ask us questions. We actually know quite a lot. This is going to be a video talking about the University of Exeter Penryn and the University of
Falmouth Penryn.
just Falmouth. Just Falmouth. Before we get on to questions,
okay.
Anna has a fun story to tell you about the fact that they're not just a Falmouth student.
I came to Cornwall in 2018. I applied for history at the University of Exeter on Penryn campus. So I did that for a year. I was like, I can't drop out. Like, I'd be a failure. I'd be a dropout. Anyway, I became a dropout. Yeah, I applied to Falmouth for theatre and performance. I also looked at fine art, film, but I was like, theatre is the one I want to do. I did an audition, I got in, and then yeah, in 2019, I restarted as a Falmouth student. And I just finished my degree. So I kind of have this weird mixed student experience where I understand both of the worlds.
But we'll get more onto that in a second. On to the first part of our video. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that Exeter and Falmouth are weird. We share a campus. I don't know anywhere else that does that.
I think we are the only university that shares a student union and shared spaces.
The fun thing about our course is that in first year you share accommodation with Falmouth and Exeter students. You share your student union, which means that all of our societies, everything is mixed. So
we could be in the same society.
I know, Anna actually runs a society.
Yeah, I do. Plug. Sostenna Theatre, come along. If you want to make theatre that cares about the planet.
That's all I could hear.
A lot of nature watch, I do the naturey things, and that's like got a big divide between the science people at Exeter and then the marine and natural history photography people. Always. Yeah, MNHP, call it MNHP.
Marine natural history photography. Like, we could have lectures in the same spaces, not at the same time obviously, but like it's not like there are certain departments that are exclusively Exeter and exclusively Falmouth. I've had seminars where I was an Exeter student and seminars where I was a Falmouth student in the same room.
Yeah, we share like the same rooms. I think the fun thing is that Falmouth is like, I would say it's like the arts counterpart, whereas like Exeter is more science based and more like geography and environmental sustainability.
In Exeter, like, subjects down here are biosciences and humanities and law and stuff. So
yeah, pretty much. Like, biosciences is, I'm pretty sure, the biggest department.
As I always say, there's always a bioscience student in your house. And if there isn't, you're the bioscientist.
Yeah, I am the bioscientist.
Yeah, exactly.
And we had another one before. Joanna, we lost her.
She's going to be a Falmouth student as well.
You know what, if anything, it just shows you that this area is really good and everyone likes it, they just don't like the courses they're doing, which is fine because not everyone picks the right courses.
I actually know someone who switched the other way.
Oh really?
Yeah, they did Kat's course, they did marine and natural history photography, and they've changed to history. And I said, do you have regrets? And she said, oh. Next question.
Next question.
Hello.
Is this from Sao Paulo? Has asked, what is accommodation like in Cornwall? Do you want to try that again? No. What is accommodation like if you're a fresher? What's going to happen when you come down here and you go, where do I live? What happens?
That's a great question. What was the question? No, accommodation. I am trying to think of, there is a lot of accommodation.
Do you want me to do it? Because I worked the accommodation stand the other day. Basically, the way it works is that your main accommodation is called Glasney, the Glasney Student Village.
Can I give a historical fact?
Yeah.
So Glasney Student Village is named after Glasney College, which was a learned centre in Penryn, which is actually as old as Oxford and Cambridge and is where monks used to like go and study, but it wasn't exclusively religious. And there is a theory that if it hadn't been dissolved by Henry VIII in 15...
Of course it was dissolved by Henry VIII.
It would have formed this university, which would have been like as big as Oxford and Cambridge. So like Exeter and Falmouth like to think that the uni being here is kind of like the legacy of Glasgow College.
I have never
That's
heard
a fun
that.
fact for you.
I've never heard
Yeah.
that one. That's really
That's my history degree in first year.
There you go. Basically, everyone lives in Glasney, or they live in the sidings, which is down near by the train station. You live in a flat of like 7 or 8 people, maybe a bit more, and everyone has an ensuite. Which is insane, and you get the option of a double room or a shared. So sometimes you can get a shared room and not have someone to share it with, so you have a single bed and a desk, and that's a really good option if you don't have enough like money to pay for like the more expensive one, like a double. Nottingham, I lived in a prison cell.
Really?
My bed was like this. It was so narrow. I like couldn't fit on this bed, and I'm 5'3".
Are you 5'3"?
And at 2.5.
There we are.
Yeah.
It's a nice room, to be fair, and like, yeah, like you have so much space. But the only thing is about Glasney is just that your only shared space is a kitchen.
So in Nottingham it's the same, no living rooms. It's quite normal not to have a living room. Maybe you'll have a sofa within the living room, but what can happen is you have something called like a JCR, or within your block, say you have a block of flats, you'll have a common room that's sofa and TV.
And where like people from all the different flats.
Yeah, and so like a lot of Nottingham accommodation have that. I know a lot of accommodations will.
It's also catered accommodation on campus, but it's kind of weird because the catered accommodation is the exact same as the normal one. So you still have an oven, you still have like all of the same facilities, like a hob. It's also Pack Saddle, which is across the road from campus.
It's exclusively
Falmouth. So
because Falmouth has more students than
we've got more students, but Exeter owns a higher proportion of the Glasney flats. So more Exeter can be in Glasney.
If you're basically wanting to go into renting privately, or if you're moving in, say as a postgrad like I was, Facebook is the best place. It's a
like,
massive
find a student housemate.
Find a student housemate. If you have an offer from the course, then they'll actually send you a link to it. Like they'll send.
They're quite good with the Facebook group.
I found my accommodation because I put on it, "Hi, I'm Isla. I walk and I bake. I haven't walked this year, but I do like to." And then Anna went like, "Yo, do you want to live with me?" And I went, "Okay."
There's also a bunch of accommodations in Falmouth itself.
Yes, we live in Falmouth.
So you've got Tuke House. There's one called the Quarry now. There's Ocean View, and there's Maritime Studios. So there's a lot of other accommodations because there's a Falmouth campus in Falmouth as well. Falmouth, Penryn, two different places. Not too far away.
We have to get the train.
None of us in this house go to uni in Falmouth, but we all live in Falmouth.
Yeah, okay. And so that's moving on to another point, which is transport.
Transport for Curdo. This is just like.
This is the transport section.
The transport section.
So Sam McGwell has asked, how do you get round between Falmouth and Penryn? Basically, easiest way to go is either by train or by bus. So I'll talk about train because I like the train.
I'll talk about bus because I hate the bus.
I live fairly near to Falmouth town train station.
Me too.
Do you? Yeah. Oh my god, no way. It costs, without a rail card, I think it's like £3 to get, for a return ticket, to get from Falmouth Town to Penryn. Falmouth Docks, Falmouth Town, Penmere, then you get to Penryn.
It's all about like 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's not a long
quick.
trip. So, and the trains come every half an hour as well. So say for example you have a 9 AM lecture from Falmouth Town, you're gonna get it at 20 past, and then that gets you about 10 minutes before your lecture.
Yeah.
So once you get to the Penryn station, you're gonna walk for about 10 minutes up a horrible hill, and then you're gonna get there.
You can get the bus from Falmouth to Penryn or Penryn to Falmouth very easily. Like,
it's basically the same as if you were walking from the train then to campus.
Yeah,
I like
but
to
it's
think
probably
it's
more flat.
It's more
So
flat.
if you had like heavy things, it might be better.
Other things to talk about is having a car. Most of my travelling has been just doing nature watch films. If the fuel prices weren't so ridiculously high,
They're
now
so
this is
high
something to
right
consider.
now.
It's I literally drove by the earlier. It's like 176 at the moment. That's something to consider if you bring a car down. Also, it's really hard to park your car on campus because you need a permit, and you ain't gonna get a permit unless you are literally maybe have a physical disability. Or basically, you fall into a category. So if you live 5 miles away, you can get a permit. If your car is under a certain like fuel CO2 outage, so you're allowed it, but like my car would not be allowed it. Especially in your first year, you probably don't need a car.
Yeah, no.
And don't bring it down your first term anyway.
Yeah,
like,
I would say bring it down your second term because cars are great for like seeing the rest of Cornwall because Cornwall's transport is bad. There are trains to like the north coast and there's lots of buses and ways of getting around. You just might end up stranded.
Anyway, that's transport. That's transport, baby.
Society.
Society.
Falmouth and Exeter have many societies. Like all other universities, I wouldn't say we're any different, really.
I guess the main difference is that we don't have a massive sports society.
Centre.
If you wanted to go to uni specifically to like cross county sports, it's probably not the place.
And we do have rugby. Rugby's a really big thing because the CSMs are the country's second oldest mining school. They've got a big thing going with Imperial College London.
Bottle.
Yeah, they compete for a bottle every year. We did win.
Woo woo!
We keep winning the bottle.
We won last time as well.
We've won quite a lot of times recently.
Yeah.
That's like the main sporting event on campus. In terms of societies, there's literally loads of stuff. There's High Tea Society, which I think is always fun. Obviously Nature Watch, which I'm part of, which is a filming and nature society. EcoSoc is huge. Throughout this entire year, right, they've literally run events like twice a week. You obviously run Sustenna, which is a theatre company. There's probably a few other
there's a
drama
musical
stuff.
theatre one, and there's another theatre one. There's a lot of performing arts societies, so lots of different types of dance, like ballet and tap and jazz, and they get professional people in to come and teach you that stuff. There's a walking society called the Expedition Society.
The Surfing Society is the biggest one. Paddleboard Society. Basically, you can look at the full list of the stuff on the SU website, and actually on the SU's website, they've got this really cool feature list every event that's going on. And you know, I got an email the other day being like, "What's on?" And the slip and slide was on, and so I went slipping and sliding.
I can't believe I missed. Eggy, what was your first week at university like?
I mean, my freshers experience was like, I did loads of activities in the first week. I actually have a video out on that, so
watch the video.
I hope this is the right way around, but here's the video.
If not, go that way.
So what was your first week like? Because it was a bit different for me as a postgrad. I basically got settled into my course, went to a couple of lectures and found out some interesting stuff. When you're an undergrad, the experience is completely different.
Okay, my first week when I was at Exeter, I think like with most unis, you move in about a week before you actually do any uni. Oh, hello.
Hello.
Turning the pound.
Oh, hello.
Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Oh, bless you. Thank you very much. You too. Bye. Oh my gosh, guys, I've got new shoes. And they are docs. And they are like just kind of cute and kind of alternative. Like they don't look like a normal doc. They've got like a little bit of height. They're like more like canvasy. Okay, so my uni experience. So yeah, I think like with most fucking Carolina, I met a lot of my friends in my first week. I'd already made friends with them online. I kind of already had a friendship group before I even got to uni, but like I didn't know that they were going to be my friendship group. We piped up a little bit in the group chat and we knew we wanted to meet each other. My first week was definitely dominated by hanging out with all these people who were on my course, but I hadn't actually met them through my course yet. Like, I don't drink, and it was just full of me being really tired, but not like hungover, because I would stay out like every night till like 3 AM and just have a lot of fun and meeting new people. Also, something that's I think is true of Falmouth and Exeter here is that like when you meet people in freshers, like you actually probably will know them for the rest of your uni
Because it's
experience.
so small here, like.
So bump into them.
Yeah, if you think about literally my hall in Nottingham was like 300 people. In Glasgow, I don't
Yeah.
know how many people are in freshers, what, 2,000? You think just one hall, like compared to the whole of...
It's everyone knows
Everyone
each
knows
other.
everyone in
And
Falmouth.
everyone's a mutual friend. So like I definitely like have friends who I know today who I met within like the first week of the uni. It was really fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, that's my first week of uni. This is a map
We are
somewhere over there.
here.
That's-
What is student life in terms of like drinking culture, in terms of partying culture, because we do live in Cornwall, so what are the clubs like?
What are the clubs like? That's one of the reasons I came here, was because the clubs are shit. Do we have
here?
clubs? We've got a lot of spaces that have dance floors.
I really like King's.
So King's is like a pub by
but
day and a club by
and
night.
night. It's a bit weird, but I quite like it.
It plays a lot of like classic, throwbacky, like pop music that is sing-along, and like you can have fun in King's. Like you will have a good time in King's.
At King's there's Grapes. Grapes is like the same
Similar
as King's.
vibes. Toast is more of like, it's only
It is an
really
actual-
a bar, and then it has
There's a
like,
weird
it's
little
like
club
yeah,
space
it
for
is a
that.
club because it isn't like ever just like it's only open in the evening.
Is there any other clubs?
We've got Mangoes, which is
Yeah, Mangoes.
Mangoes is shit.
But then if you want to go to a shit club,
Like if
a
you
club,
want
if you want to go to a
actual
club,
clubbing, you
go to Mangoes.
You know how every uni town has a club that's apparently the worst club in the UK? Club Eyes are one of that. It's like, it used to have a carpet. Yeah, there was mushrooms growing on the carpet apparently, and that's where they took it.
I mean, the other good thing about Falmouth, so many pubs and a lot of like restaurants, cocktail places, live music. Like
everywhere can become a space for social.
Yeah, and I think
events.
as well, the fact is, you go to a pub in like any city, it's a pub, it's nice. You go to a pub in Falmouth, you're literally like on the beachfront. You're kind of overlooking the marina. It's a lot more like of a chill holiday vibe, especially down here. It's very relaxed.
Yeah.
Falmouth is a very alternative place. There is, if you're a vegetarian or a vegan, Falmouth is the place to come.
It's the place for you. The places that I really like going is like the Cornish Bank and Chintz.
Oh, Cornish Bank is amazing. Cornish Bank and Chintz are brilliant.
Because they're just like really fun live music spaces. And also like the Cornish Bank is quite like community focused as well.
Yeah, Cornish Bank is really cool.
It's just a really cool space.
Cornish Bank basically puts like live music events, but it's all like really alternative stuff.
I've never had a bad evening at the Cornish
Yeah, it seems to be, you go to the Cornish Bank, you're gonna have a good time.
Talking about like drinking culture, I think a lot of people I know came here because they knew it wasn't a city and it wasn't going to be like mad uni experience of like getting absolutely pissed or taking a lot of drugs like a lot of universities are like. Watching the sunset on the beach, like it's a dream, and like you're just on this amazing bit of the coast and this landscape
beautiful.
is gorgeous.
It is insanely beautiful.
And we go to uni here. It's a very safe space I think for a first sort of like for a first leaving home situation.
If you're into nature and you're into small town living and you're into the beach, Cornwall is the place to you.
Yeah.
It is the place.
It is the place. If you like the sea, Cornwall's the place for you.
It's the place.
Fuck my life, Anna, it's gonna take me so long to edit.
So that is the end of this Q&A session about the University of Exeter and Falmouth. I really hope this makes sense. We just talk and go on rants for a little bit. If you have any questions regarding this, then put them down in the comments and I'll try and answer them. Or I don't know, if you ever check the comments.
I might check the comments and answer them, or if you send them to me personally
Exactly.
on Instagram at 99eggy.
I'll link their Instagram down in the description. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please come to Falmouth and Exeter. It's good fun down here.
Yeah.
I genuinely recommend.
And if you do come, just hit me up because I won't be far away.
Yeah,
I'll always be someone's friend.
Egg is literally like always here. Like if you genuinely need someone, Egg will.
I'll find you. I'll be your friend, and I'll find you other friends.
Exactly. this was my neighbour Isla and the
Eggy Apples.
Eggy Apples signing off. Like and subscribe to my channel. Okay, goodbye. We didn't do it. Why can't we do it at the same time?
Pure chaos.